Yo, yo, yo. I haven't actually watched a single one of those very plentiful Iceberg explained videos, but I know they exist. And that's enough for me to poke fun at them. Anyway, we haven't really explored this probably most crucial area yet, have we? So let's get to that. So this is the eyewitness of the president's kidnapping, Jack Cameron. What exactly did he witness? I've recreated the state of his body based on the photos taken by the police. It appears he was struck in the head from behind. The murder weapon was a brick, right? It looks like the ones from this garden. The blood that flowed from his head has splattered all over the surroundings. Here, take this. It's Mr. Cameron's autopsy report, That seems rather important. Well, first we're gonna have to look at this autopsy report before you do anything like any investigating there. Also, if we look at this. Zhengfa, the president of Zhengfa, Di Junhuang, was kidnapped on February 10th. 12 years ago, the kidnappers demanded a ransom of $100 million. Dai Long confirmed that on the evening of the incident, the president was at the Zhengfa embassy until midnight. And the autopsy report says Jack Cameron was 31, died on that very day, that very year, around 1 a.m. Died instantly after being hit on the head with a brick. He was likely killed just after leaving a message from his cell phone. So, do we know that message? Do we have his... Does anybody have this phone? Well, let's look at this flower again, even though we already kind of talked about it. A yellow flower has fallen here. It's called a lion lily. Indeed, Francisca told us earlier. Apparently, it comes from Asia. Yep, in the language of flowers, I think it means the bond between partners in crime. Not quite. It's the bond between parent and child. Close enough, really. I assume this is the victim's cell phone. That's right. Apparently Mr. Cameron gave his eyewitness testimony over the cell phone. What do you mean by over the cell phone? After Cameron found the president, it seems that he called his girlfriend. But she didn't answer the phone, so Cameron left a message on her answering machine. The tape is in the case files too. You want to hear it? Yeah, please. So we do have that message. Hello, Jill. Are you asleep already? I'm in front of the facility now, but something's not right. President Huang is here of all places, and what's more, crap, the light just went off. I can barely see a thing now. I can't believe it, but it almost looks like he's being kidnapped. I thought I'd let you know. Bonk. What was that sound at the end? Well, can't you take a good guess? It seems he was attacked while he was still on the phone. Agent Lung, may I ask? What was the name of Mr. Cameron's beloved? I'm pretty sure I heard her name was Jill Crane. Interesting. So it was true. Did you say Jill? This was why she was seeking revenge for 12 years ago. For a long 12... whatever. Sure sounds like it. But Miss Crane tried to get revenge on Blaze, right? She may have wanted to get revenge on him for covering up the kidnapping case. Or perhaps she thought Blaze himself was the kidnapper. Which is possible. Fool. Now let's check that brick. This is the brick that was used as the murder weapon. Found near Cameron's body. Did it come from the physicist? You can find bricks like this all over the garden. They must have used one of them as a weapon. Probably. Okay, can't examine the footprints here. We already did that earlier. Alright, buddy. And also body. But first camera, maybe. The victim was carrying a camera. Oh, according to the case files, it seems they only managed to take a single photo. Here it is. Oh. Well, that's a rather important looking photo. This is... Isn't that the president? He's being held at gunpoint. Gunpoint, by the way, a really cool game. I think it's called that. Anyway, this must be the scene the victim witnessed. So the person in the coat must be the kidnapper. Indeed, it seems like some sort of disguise. If the logic of Agent Lang's father is correct, then this person should be Patricia Rowland. But why is there only one photo? Perhaps he was killed before he could take any more. Well, he took the photo, then made the phone call, and I guess... I mean, theoretically, instead of making a phone call, he could have taken more photos, or... maybe he did. Those were all removed. Jack Cameron was a freelance journalist. He was killed because he witnessed the president's kidnapping. The blood really stands out in the recreation. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. Even in the original photo, it looks brutal enough. A lot of blood was spilled. The back of his head is covered in blood. That must be where all the blood spilled from. According to the autopsy report, he was struck in the back of the head with a brick. Indeed, it's likely that the killer approached Mr. Cameron from behind. Is the victim holding something in his right hand? That's also written in the case files. It seems he was holding onto a button. A button? Did he tear it off the culprit's clothes? Interesting. Maybe the blood itself. The blood is so vivid. According to the autopsy report, it seems the immediate cause of death was blood loss from the blow to the head. Indeed, not only did it spill out from the wound, but it splattered across the surrounding area. No one could have survived after losing this much blood. Oh, you haven't watched much anime, have you? Or other movies, really. I guess it's safe to say that the autopsy report matches the state of affairs. In fact, actually, I think probably American action movies are more, let's say, infamous for surviving lots of blood loss, right? Okay. I don't think there's anything else to see here. So, anything we haven't looked at yet? It's a swing decorated with the face of an elephant. It looks like there's some kind of motor attached to the other side of the elephant. There's one that has crossed the minds of... there's one thought that has crossed the minds of every top-class swinger. If only I could do a full 360 degrees. With that powerful motor rotating the swing, that dream can finally be achieved. Rotating with a motor. But wouldn't that be dangerous? Mr. Edgeworth, you can't fulfill your dreams unless you're willing to take some risks. Is that the real problem here? It is, Edgeworth, it is. This has mostly melted, but it appears to be a snowman. Yeah, we've seen it in the photo, when it was less melted. It has a scarf and a hat. It must have melted since it was dressed so warmly. The poor thing has even lost one of the buttons that was used for its eyes. The temperature reaches its lowest point at dawn. Perhaps it would have refrozen later. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Once a snowman melts, even if it freezes up again, it becomes an iceman instead of a snowman. What? Is that what she was expecting me to say? Okay. I guess it's not that important. This figure there, that snowman. These playground toys are modeled after the hare and the tortoise, like from the fable. The tortoise and the hare competed in a race in the end, and the hare lost. And now for something completely different. It's time for a cake quiz. Why did the hare lose? There are 3 choices. I already know the answer. It's because the hare took a nap. 1. The hare's favorite shoes were stolen by the Yatagarasu. 2. The tortoise trained with the Yatagarasu until it became faster than the hare. 3. Unbeknownst to the 2 animals, the Yatagarasu stole the victory from the shadows. Those are my only choices. Is it too hard for you? Okay, I'll give you a hint. It starts with a She wants me to pick some number 3. Well, one thing I do have to say about that fable, which I feel like I might have already mentioned on a separate stream, but that fable, right, the lesson that people often take away from it is that slow and steady wins the race, or whatever, right? But that's not the lesson at all. Like, if the tortoise had just kept going, but the hare hadn't fucked around, the tortoise still would have lost. It's not slow and steady wins the race, but like, don't get fucking cocky, you idiot. That's the lesson. Anyway, let's do some logic in game as well. Flower beds. Oh wait, we have this piece of logic here. And we have these footprints. I connected these dots last time, but I didn't realize we had the logic pieces in the game for that. Perhaps this is the true nature of the monster's footprints. True nature? Compare the full positions of the 3 footprints in the and the 3 flower beds on the left. Ah. Uh-huh. The exposed areas of dirt match the areas where the flower beds were. So Blaze dug holes in front of where each of the 3 flower beds used to be. Exactly. Now, why would he do such a thing? Because he just likes flowers a lot. I believe we have a piece of evidence that tells us why. Why did Blaze dig holes in the ground near the flower beds? Shit. I don't remember. I was trying to dig something up, but I don't remember what. Don't think it's the bouquet. Yeah. Sleeping drugs. I don't think this made any mention of something, right? Did it? I feel like if I had continued yesterday, this would be an easy thing to answer, but now I don't remember. Report on nightly. Logan's henchman. No. That doesn't really make sense. Cameron's testimony. No, I don't think there's anything here. Mozilla's head. Mozilla doll, security camera photo. Right. That's just gonna be that shot here, yeah. Blue truck? No. No clue whereabouts, blah blah, no. Huh. I actually don't recall. Why did Blaze dig holes in the ground near the something, near the flower beds or whatever? Sometimes these sentences get messed up when I open up other menus. It's the Yatagarasu badge! No. Yellow stain, contusions. Beneath them is exposed, they look cha-cha-cha-cha. Can't listen to that recording anymore, so that can't be important. I have no clue. Let's check this again. Montfort von Gamma, Gregory Edgeworth, Isaac Dover, Jeffrey Master. Dover's body was discovered inside Master's mansion. There are no clues to whereabouts of Dover's son or Gustavia's son, who until the day before the incident regularly visited at Mr. Master's mansion. I'm about certain there's a connection between Knightley and Dogan. Dogan's chess partner, whose identity remained unknown until now, was actually Knightley all along. This was proof enough. Tomorrow I shall interrogate him in the warden's office. I'll get him to confess that he's one of Dogan's henchmen. That thing he laid to rest in front... Oh, there it is. After all, I should have just read it properly. That thing he laid to rest in front of the flower bed 12 years ago. Jeez.
Take that!
The report from Patricia Rowland to Blaze the Best. It said that something was laid to rest in front of the flower bed. So Blaze was following Mr. Rowland's instructions to dig it up. But why would he dig up 3 holes? The report didn't state which of the 3 flower beds the item was in front of. Oh, so Blaze didn't know exactly where to dig. That's why he had to dig up all 3 spots. Most likely, yes. I'm sure Blaze himself was none too happy about that. He went through all that trouble. I wonder what he was trying to dig up. What indeed? I don't think... Do these connect? Maybe they do. Found near the body. Do we know... Like, was this lost? Probably not, right? So that wouldn't make sense to connect these two. Maybe we can present one of these pieces to one of them. Like the button. What is this? Do you wish for me to crush it with my gavel? Absolutely not. It was merely a joke. The Goddess of Law does not permit this gavel to be used trivially. He looked quite serious about it, though. She's simply a good actor. Okay. Not interested in any of this. That's cool, I guess. Blaze the Best and Patricia Rowland are both connected to this case. That much we know for sure. Indeed, however, it seems there's more to it than that. Jill Crane and President Huang, the key to understanding the link between their deaths. lies here as well. The connection between them is tenuous at best. For that reason, we must tread carefully to follow it to its conclusion. In that case, we should take our time and carefully examine every nook and cranny. I even just replaced the little thief's batteries with new ones. It runs on batteries? I mean, it has to run on something, right? Got anything more to say about these flowers? I suppose you would like me to tell you what exactly took place 2 nights ago and my reasons for meeting with the President. Indeed, I'm sure you yourself understand the importance of this matter. Yes, however, I cannot tell you yet. Not now, at least. Yeah, because John is right there. And it's about him, isn't it? She's determined to keep her heart closed, and without the ability to break the locks on her heart, I have no choice but to give up for now. Mr. Edgeworth, may I just say one thing? This case was thrown into chaos because John tried to cover for me. I would like to take this time to offer my deepest apologies. Do not worry yourself, my logic won't be swayed by a child's lies. Besides, I'm not so tactless as to condemn a child for trying to protect his mother. Besides, you were saying... No, paid no mind. Mother and child, huh? Uh-huh. Bam, bam. I doubt presenting a notice to him would make any sense. Have we talked to you yet? Chifu, I know it's not my place, but I have a request. Please, do a roll call, just like old times. Just like old times, huh? Heh, what a lark. Guess I have no choice. Roll call! 1! I'm sorry. The roll call with only one person is really lacking. That's nonsense. It's got nothing to do with numbers. Even though you're the only one here, the pack is always one, right? If you think it's lacking, then howl loud enough to make up for the rest of the pack. Roll call! 1! 1! 1. What? That man, is he on the verge of tears? Well, wasn't that a good bit? I guess we haven't talked to him yet. 3 flower beds and snow. Agent Lung, what's the matter? Something strange. I wasn't able to read the SS5 incident case files until now. Since Blaze had all the access to that information restricted. Yeah, that's right. And yet, I feel like I've seen this exact scene somewhere before. What do you mean? Where did I see this? If I could just remember. He looks deep in thought. I should leave him alone for a while. Or should I? The fall of my old man was also the fall of the Lung clan. The family that failed to protect the president. That's what we became. My old man started to investigate the case like he was possessed. Could someone so driven by obsession truly conduct a proper investigation? Sheesh, you really don't pull your punches, Mr. Prosecutor. Don't think I blindly trusted in his investigation just because he's my old man. His investigation was meticulous down to the last detail. Apparently he even conducted a thorough interview with each and every kid at the orphanage. He interviewed every child. I wonder how fruitful his results were. After the SS5 incident, the president completely changed. Well, he must have felt like his trust had been betrayed. I guess it's only natural. He cut off all ties with the Lung clan, putting an end to our deep bond of trust. My old man wanted to at least apologize in some way. So he tried to go see the president more times than I can count. Of course, the president refused to meet with him. He wouldn't even give him the time of day. I don't know if it was from the bodyguards, but there were times he'd come back all beaten up. Damn. But me standing around talking about the past doesn't do jack, does it? I shall be the judge of that. For now, just keep telling us what you know. You're still as tactless as ever. Well, I figured you'd say as much. You wanna talk about this button? You keep shoving? Okay, well. Yeah, for now. The SS5 incident that occurred 12 years ago. I guess I should tell you everything. My old man failed to protect the country's #1 VIP because of that. He put everything on the line in his hunt for the culprit after the incident. During that time, my old man, he was like a lifeless ghost. If he had just caught his prey, he might have been able to forgive himself. But that shrew, Roland, she managed to get away scot-free. By the way, I always thought scot-free was spelled with 2 T's, Scott, like the name, but maybe it has nothing to do with the name. My old man couldn't repay his debt to the president, nor could he unravel the case. And so began the nightmare that our wolf pack still hasn't woken up from to this day. Satisfied. When his clan's honor was damaged, young Lung's heart was wounded just as badly. Agent Lung, I can sympathize with your father's regrets, however. All we can do is perform a thorough investigation of this case. I hope your words will serve as some kind of clue. Tja, that's all you have to say? Sheesh, all that talking was a real waste of time. Yeah, kinda. Didn't get any new info or anything out of that. I feel like there's not gonna be anything. Okay, there's the same bit. And it's a lot of that. Have you seen this scene before? I guess there's no reason to ask you. Well, I guess I'll look and see if he says that we're done here. We are. I guess I'll try combining those other 2 pieces of logic, even though the connection is not entirely the best in my mind. Like, right? I guess I could check the case files or whatever. Maybe it said the murder weapon was lost, but like, let's see. Just do it. Whatever. Yeah, okay. I didn't think that made sense. But now I don't know what the hell to do. Because I thought I checked everything and I talked to everyone about everything. This pillar appears to be burnt. Oh, I guess I didn't really notice that. According to the files, it seems there was a fire on the evening of the incident. A fire? Let's see here. Huh? It says that one of the children at the orphanage spilled kerosene and set it on fire as a prank. I guess that kid had far too much energy. And thanks to that, we can't make out any of the footprints near the main hall. We've learned pretty much all that we can about the situation at the time of the murder. Oh, in that case, is there another scene you'd like to recreate? Yes, would you do the honors? I would like you to recreate the scene when the victim witnessed the president's kidnapping. Right, recreate the scene based on Mr. Cameron's photo. Shame that I wasted that bit of life there because I didn't see the soot, I guess. The burn marks. But it's fine. Mr. Cameron is standing in the middle of the flower beds. Why is there a bloodstain on the ground already? And the president and his kidnapper are standing on the road. My old man based his initial investigation on this man's eyewitness testimony. As a result, it led him to believe that the kidnapping and this facility were related. And that's how he came to suspect the head of the orphanage, Patricia Rowland. Yeah. But in court, Blaze the Best treated this testimony as if it meant nothing. Why would he do that? The president and his kidnapper were not standing inside the orphanage grounds, so a connection between the orphanage and the kidnapping was difficult to prove. Wow. I see. It's not like they were seen inside the orphanage, after all. No matter how much evidence the detectives gather at the crime scene, it doesn't mean squat if the prosecutor won't use it in court. Blaze the Best had some kind of connection with Patricia Rowland, clearly. I figured they had some kind of deal going on. In other words, you think that Blaze was one of the kidnappers? However, your father was convinced that Patricia Rowland was the culprit. Your father was a highly capable investigator, I presume. Might he have had some other basis for his conclusion besides the eyewitness testimony? Yeah, I figure he did, but I have no idea what it was. My old man never really talked much about this case. Agent Lang's father, Dai Long Lang. President Huang's most trusted confidant. The truth he discovered was suppressed by Blaze the Best. First, we must find that hidden truth. What's with that blood stain? Cameron took a photo of the president from this spot. And he also called Miss Crane, right? At that time, the killer was already behind him, holding the murderous brick. Okay, we're not going to talk about the blood. Maybe that's a glitch or something. But I feel like I don't see why it would be. Okay, I guess we can't do that. Oh, hey, no footprints here yet. I guess that makes sense. Well, I guess we'll look at the snowman first, because I saw some fingerprints or something. Some finger marks, hand marks. I won't rest yet. Let's find it. About the snowman. When we recreated the scene where Mr. Cameron was killed, it had already melted. Its scarf was all soggy, and one of its button eyes was missing. Indeed, at this stage it appears that most of its original form was still intact, except for the eye. Although there's one spot that looks unnaturally lacking. Poor thing, I bet some naughty kid must have plucked it off. Or was it? Although from a thief's perspective, that kid does have some promise. Was it plucked off by one of the children at the orphanage? No, perhaps. It was taken by an entirely different person altogether. Deduce! This snowman. Wouldn't you say it's missing something? Ah, its right eye is missing. Precisely, and what's more, that missing eye happens to be in our possession. The button that Mr. Cameron was holding onto. It's got the exact same design as the snowman's left eye. Sure, yeah, I definitely knew that. If we assume this button was indeed the snowman's eye, a huge contradiction arises. If this button is the snowman's eye, what contradiction arises? The location of the victim, the location of the snowman, the location of the president. I guess the location of the victim? Because the president is clearly in this photo. And so is the snowman. And the victim must have taken the eye off that snowman somehow, but, like, yeah. I guess it would have to be the victim. The victim was holding on to the button. Furthermore, the button was stained with blood. In other words, he grabbed the button after he was attacked. For example, if we were to picture it this way. After being struck in the back of the head, Mr. Cameron lost his balance. As he was falling, he reached out his hand towards the nearby snowman. However, it could not support his weight and he collapsed while still grasping the button. That means Mr. Cameron was near the snowman when he was attacked? Indeed, at the very least he must have been within arm's reach, however. It's quite clear that he would not have been able to reach it from his current position. And that also means that this one photo that we have must have been faked. Done on purpose to fake this scene. But Mr. Cameron's footprints only lead towards the flower bed. Can we be certain that those footprints really are Mr. Cameron's? It seems we'll need to investigate them one more time. Understood. I'll recreate the time the body was discovered scene one more time. I mean, we could just look at them here, but I guess we'd have to look at the other footprints too. These footprints should match up with Mr. Cameron's shoes, right? Let's inspect them again. These footprints, are they really Mr. Cameron's? They are from size 11 shoes, and these huge footprints match up with Mr. Cameron's shoes. No matter how you look at it, they are moving steadily towards the center of the flower beds. But when Mr. Cameron was attacked, he grabbed the button from the snowman. Even with a great thief's peak human conditioning, your arm just can't stretch that far. Let alone an ordinary civilian, it'd be completely impossible. The footprints come from the shoes worn by the victim, just as the case files say. However, does that mean Mr. Cameron was the owner of these shoes? We should re-examine Mr. Cameron's shoes. Shoes. These shoes should match the footprints, however. These shoes. It seems like they were not the ones originally worn by the victim. What do you mean? If you look closely, you'll see the laces were tied up strangely. And the size doesn't seem to fit quite right either. That would mean these huge footprints leading up to the victim's feet were most likely made by someone other than the victim. So then the footprints leading to and from the victim's head must be Mr. Cameron's? No, not necessarily. They seem a little too small to be the victim's footprints. So none of the footprints are his? Then which way did Mr. Cameron walk from? From the orphanage or something? It's quite simple. The victim did not walk here on his own accord, but rather he was carried here after the murder. He was murdered by the culprit. Also that. I thought they meant how he got here in the first place. Like, it got to the scene. The question now becomes where he was killed and carried from. Perhaps it was near the snowman after all. Possibly. Mr. Cameron's body was moved, if we consider the button he was holding onto. It's highly likely that he was killed near the snowman. I should take a closer look. Well, there's some footprints again. There are some size 7 footprints going back and forth. According to the police files, these are the culprit's footprints. Indeed, they seem to grow faint and disappear as they approach the road. There's not much snow left on the road after all. As expected, it'll be difficult to determine who these footprints belong to. The snowman has become a sad sight to look at. It can't be helped, snow and ice both melt away with time. Just like the mysteries of the cases you've solved, Mr. Edgeworth. As time passes, those mysteries melt away while you continue to keep your cool. You do realize I'm racking my brain trying to solve those mysteries during a case. Well, somebody is racking their brain. It appears that the outside of the facility was also decorated with flower beds. Wow, so there are flowers that bloom in the winter. Snow has even piled up on the flower bed. Indeed, it seems a little cold and it gives off a refined taste, even though it's just a recreation. Indeed, it gives off a little cold and tastes quite refined, even though it's just a recreation. Well, like maybe specifically the scarf? No. No. I don't see anything else to look at. Cool. I guess it's time to logic. I don't really think these fit together in any meaningful way. Found near Cameron's body. I don't know. Maybe just look at the footprints themselves. Nope. Maybe the burn marks again? Nope. Yeah, I didn't think so. I'll just check the brick again, even though it just said that there's nothing to check. Yeah. Did we get new evidence? The shoes. Didn't belong to Cameron. Culprit likely placed the shoes on the victim's feet after he died. Are you gonna tell me that we're done here? No, apparently we are missing something here. What? I literally don't see anything else to look at. We looked at this multiple times. We looked at these prints, and we looked at these plants. I don't see anything else. And there's nothing to deduce either. What do you want from me? What's wrong with you? Or me? Or the world? I don't know, let's try them again, I guess. Nope. There's nothing of interest here. Yeah, well, I just thought I'd try, you know. Like this bucket hat. Like the body didn't go missing, right? So that doesn't make sense for him to have to dig that up. Playset Patricia found not guilty with the partners in crime. I don't think that connects with any of this. I mean, that obviously kind of connects with this, but not in a way that I think is gonna tell us anything here. Maybe these two, like, oh, if this wasn't actually his actual location, then maybe the brick was also carried from somewhere or something. I don't know, man. I'm out of ideas. I'm just doing stuff. Yeah, I didn't think so. I don't know. Apparently there's something here. But I just can't find it. Maybe specifically the button. Oh. No, that's just the plants again, right? Yeah. Meticulously go through everything. Yeah, no, I don't. That is. I have no idea. What the hell? What the actual hell? Do you know anything about this burning stuff? You know, were you the kid that caused this fire as well? What's that supposed to be? Giving me that isn't gonna land you a role in film? Oh, we've already had that dialogue, but we can't skip it yet. Or rather, can't skip it again. There. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna tell us anything of value. What the hell? I don't know. Can you tell us anything about that? No. I seriously don't know what you want from me right now. I have examined every piece of everything. And I've looked at everything that's possible to look at in that bit. I've talked to everybody about everything, and I'm pretty sure that I can't connect any of these logic dots, and I don't want to fucking keep randomly rubbing sticks and stones together until a fire sparks or something. I just don't think any of this makes sense. Maybe Blaze moved the body. I don't fucking know, man. Yeah, I didn't think so. God fucking damn it, man. Francisca, please help. Yeah, no. Nope, nothing new here either. Maybe go back to, how do I do that? Nope. I wanna change the recreation. Maybe if I talk to you like this, I can't. I guess I just have to use the touch screen. Good. The three disasters? What? A kidnapping, a murder, and a fire on top of that. So much happened that it's hard to keep things straight. The fire was caused by a child on the evening of the incident, which means the fire occurred before the kidnapping and the murder. Did you notice something about when the fire started? Indeed, there's one thing that caught my attention. If the fire occurred first, then something left at the crime scene should not have been there. What has changed at the scene due to the fire, and the evidence that I have on hand? It seems I'll need to take a moment to compare the two. Notice anything? So there was an orphanage here 12 years ago. And what's more, the head of the orphanage was Miss Rowland. Talk about a surprise. So that means this was where the SS5 incident occurred 12 years ago. The one where the president of Shangfa was kidnapped, right? Yes, and the only witness, Jack Cameron, was then subsequently murdered. However, when you consider that this case was classified as top secret, starts to smell fishy, like there's something hidden behind the case. Even so, the people involved in this incident, aren't they all people that we already know? Patricia Rowland, Blaze the Best, and the president of Jangfa. The cases that we've been involved in recently and the SS5 incident, it's hard to think they're not related. It's still the truth hidden behind this case. Keep updating the info if we find out anything new, so let's focus on the areas that have changed in the recreation. I guess I do, because I don't know what else to do. Thanks. It's the one-eyed snowman. It's a one-eyed snowman. It goes all the way up to my shoulders. At this size, it's a gigaton class. You gotta hand it to the kids who made this. I was hoping for some more diverse information instead of just its size. Bucket hat, button eyes, and a wool scarf. It's fully equipped. All that's left is to knock it down with countless punches and kicks. I was hoping for some more objective information instead of what you'd like to do to it. This is the president, just before he was kidnapped at gunpoint. The president was strong, but there's no way he'd win against a gun. And Mr. Cameron photographed this scene from the middle of the flower bed. Or did he? There's something highly unnatural about this. It would have been impossible for him to grab the snowman's button from there. Indeed, we should examine the state of the other recreation we made, the other recreation once more. Yeah, but there's nothing there? Also, you won't let me look at the fucking blood. Which, you know, is weird. This bear-shaped igloo is both cute and scary at the same time. Why can't we skip this? Come on. 3 people, sure. Shut up now. Just fucking stop. Trees. These footprints, are they really Mr. Cameron's? They're from size 11 shoes, and these are huge footprints matched, but that's the same fucking thing again. Please, just let me skip. Oh, man. Yeah, cool. Thanks so much. Well, time to change it back, I guess. I do. I close my blinds real quick. Okay, nothing interesting about these. Still. Nothing we can do with anything here. I don't know what to do. Like, is there anything I should be presenting to somebody? Like, I just don't really know what. I already tried most of this stuff with most of the people here. Uh-huh. I'll just try, like, every single spot that I can remotely see, like, that is within that, you know, examinable area. I'm so lost. Oops. If at least you'd let me deduce or something so that I can do something. Yeah, I really don't think that anything is gonna come of this, but I just really have no clue what the fuck I'm supposed to do here. I don't want to check a guide, but like I'm so clueless. Like I have no idea what the, like, there's no puzzle here, I just don't know what to do. Supposedly there's something to do here. Like I could try slapping together all the logic bits, but I just don't think that makes sense. Can you help me, man? No? I guess not. Yo, Courtney. You know anything about this fire? You know anything about these shoes? Pretty sure we already showed her the button. Already showed him that. Absolutely already showed him that. Alright, I guess I'll check a guide. It's gonna be kind of hard to find what the fuck I'm even looking for, so this might take a little while. And so turn Investigations-2 walkthrough, I guess. I don't know, are we in the middle? "12 years ago. Front yard recreation, yeah. Oh, we got that. We got these bits. Examine the snowman's head. Deduce the button, yeah. Location of the victim, yep. Examine the body again, the shoes, we got the victim's shoes. Body was moved. Examine around the melted snowman, there's a gap in the row of bricks. What? Oh yeah, there is. It just seemed like it was part of the fucking plant thing. If they just hadn't let me fucking examine these stupid ass plants. God damn, dude. That is obnoxious as hell. didn't manage to find this. It's all so green, dude. That sucks. Huh? There's a brick missing here. Yeah, wow. The rest are all in order. It's strange that only this one is missing. Holy fucking shit, dude. Oh my god. Perhaps the missing brick was the one used at the murder weapon. As the murder weapon, well, really. Ah, yeah, it seems to be just the right size to fit in that gap perfectly. The brick used to kill Cameron was from near the snowman. I mean, are we just supposed to combine these two now? Because now we know for, like, more certain that it was close to there, but, like, I don't know, man. It still feels kind of flimsy, but let's do it. Not like anything new cropped up that we could investigate. As I thought, it seems the murder actually occurred near the snowman. I really don't think we needed to find this brick info in order to deduce that any further, but hey, sure. Both the button Mr. Cameron was holding and the murder weapon came from there. Indeed. Also, if we assume that the killer picked up the brick near the snowman and then tried to sneak up behind Mr. Cameron. Oh, Mr. Cameron totally would have seen the person picking up the brick. Exactly. Okay, please update your recreation. Mr. Cameron was not in the middle of the flower beds, but near the snowman. Okay, I'm on it. Well, doesn't that make no sense at all? No matter how you look at it, this is strange. All the people involved in this case are gathered in the same place. Did we make a mistake here or something? No. Somebody tried to forge evidence. One piece of evidence this recreation is based on is odd. If I had to choose which piece of evidence is fake, which piece of evidence is likely to be fake? It's the photo. Was this photo really taken by Mr. Cameron? No, eh? What do you mean? We have proven that whoever killed Mr. Cameron also moved the body. For what reason would they have to deliberately move his body? Perhaps the culprit wanted to falsify the scene that Mr. Cameron witnessed. And that's why they took a fake photo? They made the president stand under the streetlight and took a photo with Cameron's camera. It would have been quite simple. Now that you mention it, Mr. Cameron's camera only had one photo on it, right? Indeed, in all likelihood, the original roll of film had been removed from the camera. And after loading a new roll of film into the camera, the fake photo was taken. I see. So this photo must have been taken after Mr. Cameron was killed, right? Exactly. This was not the scene of This was not the scene Mr. Cameron actually witnessed. It's likely that this photo is forged evidence. Then where did Mr. Cameron witness the president and his kidnapper? The photo isn't the only piece of evidence that indicates what Mr. Cameron witnessed. Ah, the testimony he left on the answering machine. Precisely. We should listen to the recording one more time and confirm what was said. Where else? Well, how about right there? Ish.
Take that!
They were over there? So that's the basis for... what's the basis for that claim? Huh, I guess that's wrong. Somehow. Do I really need the basis for my claims? Yeah, just don't even fucking stop. Go! Let's try remembering what Mr. Cameron said in his eyewitness testimony. Didn't he say something about the situation at the scene? I guess I'll check it out, fine. Ba-da-da-da-ba. Oh, now I can't look anymore. Well, shit. Well, fuck, what the fuck? I wanted to look, but now I'm in this menu and now I can't look anymore. God damn. Well, there's something about the light, I think, so maybe just on the other side of the street?
Take that!
Nope. Okay, I'll check the organizer right now. If I can... That actually just... I feel a little bamboozled for that. Sleep already, blah blah. President Wang is here of all places. And what's more crap, the light just went off. I can barely see a thing now. Can't believe it, but it almost looks like he's being kidnapped. Wow, that doesn't help at all. Wait, what's the question? Was the question where... No, wait, we already cleared up where Cameron was, right? What's got the president and the kidnapper have been? Well, as I said, somewhere around here makes the most sense. Oh, I guess, okay, the light here also went out. But like, this is so vague, like here, 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 there, I guess. Okay. Mr. Cameron said this on the answering machine. The light just went off. I can barely see a thing now. There are only 2 places here where the lights are broken. The light by the orphanage. Kay, could you please update the recreation? Roger. This is... so the kidnapper was near the orphanage. Indeed, with this, we've shown the connection between the orphanage and the kidnapping. So that's why they moved the body and took the fake photo to create false testimony, in order to remove any suspicion towards the orphanage in court. With this, the state of the recreation has changed completely. The time the body was discovered since seen has probably been greatly impacted as a result. Then let's check it out right away. Preparations are ready. Since the state of the recreation has changed once again, we should press the Y button and select Change Recreation. Okay, oh, the Y button does it too, okay. Good to know. Can we maybe now check out the blood? The place Cameron was killed was not near the flower beds. So then, whose blood is this? Finally. Just now, the state of the recreation has changed completely. Regarding this blood stain, the time body was found to skip it. Okay, fine. Jeez. Then let's go check it out right away. Blah 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 blah. Sorry, I just wanted to fucking check the blood stain that I've been meaning to check the entire time. Shut up. Let's do it. Oops, that's fine. You sure won't. Oh, bloodstain, weird. The blood splattered above the snow. There certainly was a substantial amount. It's almost as if the murder was actually committed here. But Mr. Cameron should have been attacked near the snowman. Exactly. In that case, this blood must belong to somebody else. What? But the police report said this was Mr. Cameron's blood. The one in charge of this case was Blaze the Best. It would have been simple for him to falsify that information. But wouldn't it be faster to just clean up the bloodstains rather than falsify the the information? He wouldn't be able to do that. Think about it. Blaze knew that Mr. Cameron's body would be discovered here. In which case, the forensics department would naturally become involved. Ah, luminal reaction. They would have discovered it with the power of science. Precisely. It would have been difficult to completely erase all traces of the blood. However, falsifying the results of the blood test would be much easier in comparison. He would just have to switch the results from the forensic reports. Oh, what a bummer. Knowing those documents I read were falsified. It looks like Mr. Cameron's clothes were completely soaked in blood. If the blood scattered here got onto Cameron's clothes, that would mean at the time the bloodstains here had not dried yet. I see, so then this certain somebody's blood was splattered here just a short while before Mr. Cameron was murdered. Indeed, that's exactly right. However, if that's the case, wouldn't a new contradiction arise in this recreation? Maybe. Can't even look at the brick anymore. Oh, we can deduce now. This seems to be the only area without any snow. It must have been melted by the fire caused by the child at the orphanage. The disasters just keep coming for this orphanage. After the fire, multiple murders occurred. After the fire? If the snow had melted, wouldn't that mean... Yeah, that the fire happened after this. But how do I even show that? Let's see. Belonged to somebody other than fire prior to the incident. I guess maybe I'll do like more of this here, this area here, and present that there. That makes some sense to me. Whoops.
Eureka!
Okay. This is a clear contradiction. Huh? You mean this bloodstain? Do you see how this bloodstain is broken up by the remains of the fire? This is proof that the fire occurred after the blood had scattered around the area. Huh? But I thought the fire occurred before the murder. It seems that information is suspect as well. If the fire had broken out after the murder... Huh. Then the child who started the fire should have seen the body and the bloodstains. Why then did they not come forward as a witness? It's likely they would have put Blaze at a great disadvantage. Guess we'll need to investigate this fire in more detail. Hey you. Yes sir. There should be some records of the fire in the police department under a different case file. I want you to bring me every last investigation report about the fire. Understood, Shifu? Oh, and one more thing. What is it, sir? Contact the house of Lang in Zhengfa. There should be evidence from this case in my old man's room. What do you mean? I just remembered why I recognized this scene. A long time ago I saw a picture in my old man's room. It was a drawing resembling this scene. What did you say? However, I think it looked like something a child drew. A child? Then the artist may have been the culprit behind the fire. It should still be somewhere in my old man's room. Have them send it over here. Understood, sir? Okay, I guess we're not done. Do we have new logic? No. Hello. Originally Mr. Cameron's body was here. In order to be consistent with the fake photo, he was moved to the center of the flower beds. Then the footprints going back and forth from the body, could they be... Indeed, there's only one possibility at the moment. These footprints were probably left when the body was moved to the flower beds. Okay, nothing new about these. Are we gonna look at this, at the flower again or something? No, okay. What do you want from me now? Maybe this time you'll tell us about the fire. No. I mean, I guess this is a case from 12 years ago. Even if he was in the orphanage at that time, he wouldn't have been old enough to do anything. What now, man? Got anything new to say, buddy? No? Want to talk about this bloodstain, maybe? What's with this fucking... let's call it a crime scene? I just keep not knowing what to do. I guess I'm missing another thing. That snowman there, that's me. The sad expression on its face, that's me. Maybe let's change the recreation again, I don't know. There's no mistaking it. Mr. Cameron was originally here when he took the photo. Well, was originally here. The killer took a brick from that flower bed and attacked him. Mr. Cameron was hit in the back of the head and grabbed the snowman's right eye as he fell. And since we know now that Mr. Cameron's body was here, the state of the other recreation must have changed. Okay, shut up. Shut up about the other recreation. We've just been here. Just leave me alone, man. So this is why the president and his kidnapper were really seen. That is correct. However, now the orphanage can no longer avoid suspicion in the kidnapping. That's why it was necessary to distance the kidnapping site from the orphanage grounds. Oh, sneaky. So that's why they took the fake photo. They disposed of Cameron's film and threatened the president near the road. Then, using new film, they took the false photograph. If Blaze was in league with the kidnappers, he could conceal any incriminating evidence. In fact, the SS5 incident case files had been sealed away until Blaze's recent downfall. Ooh, the truth of this case is being revealed little by little. Indeed. However, some mysteries still remain. We'll thoroughly need to investigate any changes in the previous recreation. Always with that previous recreation. Don't you care about this recreation anymore, One and done it? Don't even respect it anymore? After all it's done for us? Disgusting, Edgeworth. Absolutely fucking disgusting. What kind of friend does that? Fucking awful. I still don't see anything that we can investigate or do here or anything. Fuck it. Fucking walk through. What is it? Mysterious bloodstain is added to the organizer. Deduced from the fire. Lang orders his subordinates to bring him the case files. And he remembers where the thing is from. Yeah, well. Supposedly it ends there, but that's what we did, and we're not done. So... did I miss a step somewhere? Was Blaze a kidnapper, and what did Blaze dig up are supposed to go together? Which... what's the point in, like, obviously that's fucking stupid, dude. I really, like, obviously that has something to do with that, but there's no contradiction there. So I didn't think we should combine these in any way, but nope, that's totally what you're supposed to do. Sometimes I just am not down with what you're supposed to do in this game. If we suppose that Blaze was one of the kidnappers, it becomes more likely that what he dug up yesterday is connected to the abduction. Wow, really? Really? Wow, that's fucking crazy. Wow. Unbelievable, I never would have thought. What is it? I figured it out. It was treasure. Treasure. Couldn't Blaze have dug up the ransom money? The $100 million ransom. Buried in the ground until the heat had died down. It's certainly possible. I know, right? Okay. Jeez, fucking stupid. Seriously, I'm kinda heated. Like, wow, really? Him digging up that thing? Especially with the fucking way that was set up with the fucking message that he got with the, hey, from 12 years ago, remember to dig that up. That was related to the case 12 years ago? What? Fuck, man. I've brought the info on the fire the kid started and took a photo of the drawing in your father's office. Cool. I've been waiting for this. Hurry up and hand him over. I kind of auto-skipped the message that the guy was about to say. Information held by Agent Lang's father. I mean, that's a pretty good drawing for a child. This is it. It's exactly like, exactly what I remembered. This was the picture drawn by the child depicting the night of the incident. It sure looks like it was drawn with a child's touch. As I thought, the one who drew this is most likely the child who started the fire. And there's one pretty crucial piece of evidence in that drawing that we hold. Shifu. What now? Sorry, but it's gonna have to wait. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Why do you think my old man had this? Perhaps he obtained it during the course of his investigation into the incident, although I don't know why he would have concealed it. Agent Lang, might I be able to see the details of the fire? Yeah, sure. Allow me to read it post-haste. The boy who started the fire snuck out of bed on the night of the incident. It seems that this boy went missing several days later. What? Don't tell me that he witnessed something he shouldn't have. That's horrible. He was only a child after all. While I'd hate for that to be the case, we can't rule out the possibility entirely. Huh? Apparently the boy left some stuff behind at the orphanage, and it was taken as evidence. What's this? What's that doing here? Huh? Mr. Prosecutor, do you recognize this? Yes, I know one piece of evidence that's related to it. Which is it? Which could it possibly be? I went the wrong way around.
Take that!
I don't know what it's doing here. But isn't that the missing horn from this Mozilla doll? No way. You mean this came off the president's... You know it? Yeah, I've noticed the president kept it close by as a decoration. I always thought it was strange how one of the horns was missing. If you twist the horn, the doll will play back any previously recorded audio. So if we put the missing horn back in place, we might be able to hear a different recording. Indeed, it is possible. The doll is currently on the 51st floor of the Grand Tower. Why don't we have it? Hey you heard that right? Yes sir, I'll be right back. Chifu, I've got it, the mighty Mozilla doll. Okay, no problem with retrieving it apparently. Well done, give it to the prosecutor over there. If we insert the horn found at the orphanage into the doll, it's a perfect fit. Well, can you hear anything? Mr. Wong, it's Amy. It's been a while. I saw the news that you would be coming to this country. I was really nervous about doing this, but I decided to send you a message. I guess Amy is John's real mother. Please stop the playback. Judge Courtney? What's wrong? Stop it, now. It's a boy, your son. He's just been born. I'm sorry, that's all I wanted to tell you. His name's John. John Marsh. It's a fine name for him, don't you think? Marsh? Did she say John? I'll be waiting in the courtyard of the orphanage at midnight on February 9th. Even if it's just once, I want John to be able to meet you. I'm sorry if I'm being selfish, but I'll be waiting. No way, that was my... John. What's the meaning of this, Miss Courtney? John is not my biological son. I mean, obviously. He's adopted. Did John know about this? Of course he knew. John's mother, Amy Marsh, passed away about 5 years ago. She and I were cousins. Since we were young, we've always been really close. We were often mistaken for sisters. That's why when she passed away, I thought it was only natural that I took a look after John. Also, there were circumstances which prevented me from revealing his father's identity. I never even told John his father's name. And now it's all been revealed thanks to the recording on that doll. Did John's mother send the doll to the president? Hey, John, was he, the president, really my dad? Yes, he was. Before you were born, Amy worked as a diplomat in Zhengfa. A diplomat? So that must be how she became acquainted with President Huang. Hang on, didn't you tell me she worked at the orphanage? Yes, after returning to this country, Amy left her job as a diplomat. She always had great passion for charity work, so she began working at the orphanage. What is it? Hey, Miss Courtney. So this Amy girl, she called the president there herself, but she never showed up at the scene of the SS5 incident. What's with that? Amy couldn't make it. Apparently someone had been following her that whole night. Perhaps it was Blaze? I can't say for certain, but it's possible that was his doing. After that, Amy never got another chance to see the president again. So she died 5 years ago. This conversation must be painful for John. Alright, hey John, you thirsty? How about I buy us both some juice? We can go together. I'm a part of this too, I'll listen until the end. Besides, I can afford to buy my own juice. Oh, shut down by a kid. John, do you understand the reason I met with the president 2 days ago? Secret meeting from 2 nights ago. I wanted to tell him about Amy's death and that you were alive and well. But I see. That's why you couldn't tell us your reasons for meeting with the president until now. I get it. She would have had to reveal his connection with John. I brought a bouquet of lion lilies so that he would understand I truly did know about Amy. Those flowers are a dear memory to the president and Amy. The first present she received from the president was a bouquet of lion lilies. But now even he has passed away, if only he were still alive. Perhaps I could have introduced him to John.
Chifu, I'm sorry to interrupt this atmosphere, but there's something I need to say.
What is it now? Can't this wait?
Well, actually, there's one last item that's been delivered here from Zhengfa. I have here the
President's will.
What?
President's will? My old man received a great number of special medals from the president himself. As a token of his trust, the president left his will in the protection of the Lung clan. Okay. Those medals and that will, they were the pride of our clan. Our family treasures, so to speak. Uh-huh.
This is...
Agent Lung, does that will have something to do with the current case?
You bet it does. It says here, I hereby acknowledge John Marsh as my own son.
What? John's name is in the president's will. Are you certain that will was written by the president?
Yeah, he entrusted it to the Lung clan even before the SS5 incident took place. They'd have to praise it back home, but by the name of the Lung clan, this is the real deal.
Di Junhuang was the president of the entire nation. The existence of his son would have caused considerable controversy. However, he left behind a will, just in case.
This makes it doubly sure. I still can't believe it myself, but there's no room for doubt. John Marsh, you are the son of Di Junhuang, president of Jangfa.
I mean, yeah. That kind of seems to be the case, doesn't it? John! He's running. And Edgeworth is the first to chase, I guess. But then... I guess let's keep going some more. Outside Grand Tower. Temporary film lot. Yep. John. So that guy was my dad. He found out about his own birth so suddenly. And furthermore, his newfound father is no longer in this world. I'd always been searching for my dad. John. I get it, alright. He's the president. I know it's a complicated situation. But we even met face to face during the filming. So then why, huh? Why didn't he tell me who he really was? I'm sorry, John. Mom, you don't need to apologize, no matter how you look at it. It's all my fault. Yesterday I broke my promise with you and I didn't even notice the fire on the roof. So I destroyed everything. I crushed it all. My dad and those flowers that my mom carefully grew. John, please, for now, just don't think about anything. Just stay like this for a little while. Just for a little while, okay?
The bond between a parent and child, that's the meaning behind lion lilies. I know it's not my style, but that flower is from Jangfa.
However, we have no means of protecting that bond. Agent Lung, allow me to say this. The case won't be solved by sentimentality alone. Therefore, shouldn't we do all that we can to solve it?
Yeah, you're right.
The recreation of the past has finished. Were your father's deductions correct?
My old man took his deductions to the grave. He never told anyone about them. So who knows if they were right or not.
In that case, how about your own deductions? I would like to hear what you think happened based on the recreation. In order for us to get closer to the truth of 12 years ago.
Yeah, I was thinking it's about time. I can see it now, my old man's back, real close. I'll catch up to him for sure. To the truth that my old man uncovered. There's no mistake that the president went to the orphanage. The stuffed toys proof of that he was planning to meet with Amy Marsh. However, the president was kidnapped, and Cameron just happened to witness it. If Cameron hadn't been there, it probably would have just been a kidnapping with no murder. Afterwards, the body was moved to the flower beds and a fake photo was taken.
Was that what really happened 12 years ago? I feel like one of those statements might be disputable.
However, there's one thing I still don't get. Something you don't get. It's this. Why did they need to take a fake photo? Why would they go through all that trouble and even make the president take part of the photo? In the photo. I think we'll get to that. That's true. However, the answer to that riddle must lie somewhere within. Once we get past the layers upon layers of deductions, we shall surely reach it. Yeah, that's right. I'd like to hear your deductions as well. There's one point in particular that I have issue with. Let's get to that. This. If that was the case, I'll press it first. But if that was the case, what about that bloodstain? If he hadn't been there, you say, that's an interesting theory. Care to explain in more detail? It's simple. Cameron was killed because he saw the kidnapping. The kidnapping itself was a success. If he hadn't been there, no blood would have been spilled. No blood would have been spilled, That's what I said. You make it sound like it was his own fault for being there. Okay, that's not it. What Agent Lung's trying to say is, simply, besides Mr. Cameron, there were no other casualties at the crime scene. Oh, was that all? Of course, that's obvious. The president was kidnapped, but once the ransom money was paid, he was returned safe and sound. That sounds like an obvious point, however. Something about it bothers me, I'm meaning to really, I know it. You done explaining things to your assistant? I still have one last thing to confirm. What about that was a cool speech for what about the bloodstain? If the eyewitness Cameron had not been there, no murder would have taken place. Is that really the case? The criminal's goal was only to kidnap the president. If there were no witnesses, there would have been no need to commit murder, right? And what if Cameron wasn't the only one who was murdered? There was a large bloodstain near the flower beds. However, Cameron was murdered. Near the snowman, ergo, this new bloodstain could not have belonged to Cameron. Someone else's blood was spilled, and quite a vast amount at that. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Do you have any idea what you're saying? I do. It's hard to believe. However, that is what the evidence indicates. On that night, 12 years ago, there were 2 murders. Are you saying that the other murder was covered up? Just who the heck could have been killed? A murder that was cleverly concealed. All traces of it were erased, and the incident itself was completely deleted from the case files. However, there's one thing. One piece of evidence that still remains intact after 12 years. This piece of evidence shows that something happened that night. Well, there's the Mozilla doll. There's the drawing. But is that the one? Let's go with it. Let's go with it. Yep. The other murder incident was buried in the dark by Blaise de Best. However, there's still one piece of evidence that remains. Agent Lung, it survived by your father's hands. My old man, you say? Please recall. There was one more thing that was hidden along with the traces of the murder. And that is the existence of the boy who caused the fire. Why did Blaise make the boy disappear? It's because he saw something that he wasn't supposed to see. What was the thing he wasn't supposed to see? Everything is drawn in this picture. the drawing my old man had. The person drawn on the right is most likely the president. Probably. The Mozilla doll is also drawn near him. And the person standing opposite of him is... where is he? You know, he's got a dog with him. Geez, we got a lot of people in this case. There he is.
Take that!
A man with a knife and a large black dog. He is none other than Sirhan Dogan. What? The assassin? Why would an assassin appear before a president? The answer is clear. Indeed, what occurred that night on the orphanage grounds 12 years ago was not a kidnapping. It was a presidential assassination. Wow. Then Mr. Rowland and Mr. Blaze were... Yes, the two were likely partners in crime. One furnished the orphanage to use as the scene of the incident, and the other covered up the young boy's testimony. It's likely that Mr. Cameron was murdered because he witnessed the assassination itself. After all, the kidnapping never actually happened. Stop messing around. You're saying that the president was assassinated 12 years ago? We just found his body today. He's been alive up until now. That's right. I mean, we met him over ourselves. If the president was assassinated 12 years ago and the president's body was found today, that would imply there were two presidents. Yeah, and that can't be right. Are you sure about that? There's the possibility that there were two presidents. That's right. Up until now, I've been getting a strange feeling from the president. He doesn't really fit the image that Lang set up, doesn't he? Does he? The image of President Huang that Agent Lang described. Differs far too greatly from the President Huang we knew. It's as if they were two entirely different people. If there were in fact two Zhengfa presidents, exactly how would such a scenario be possible? What would make the existence of the two presidents possible? The president had a twin brother, one of them was a body double, the victim looked like the president. A body double? If we were to assume that one of them was a body double, wouldn't it be possible then? Body double? President Huang possessed immense power and authority in Zhengfa. I'm sure there were those who envied his position and made attempts on his life. Yes, just as he was attacked a few days ago at Gourd Lake. It's true there were those who sought Huang's life from time to time, but I can't easily believe there were two presidents. At least not without any evidence. Do I have evidence that proves that there were two presidents? Gunpowder residue, lilies, contusions and bone fractures. Bum, 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 da, da. This is 5 incidents. President of Zhengfa, Di Junhuang, was kidnapped on February 10th. Kidnappers demanded ransom. Dai Long Lang confirmed that the evening of the incident, the president was at the Zhengfa embassy until midnight. And when was he killed? When did this photo get taken? The president had an appointment at midnight in the courtyard of the orphanage to meet with Amy Marsh. Jack Cameron was a witness. His body seems to have been moved. Autopsy report. around 1 a.m. I don't know if it's possible to get from there to there within an hour, so I don't think that's decisive. Fake photo. Doesn't really prove anything if we don't assume that there's not two. President Huang is here of all places, and what's more, let's know. Almost looks like he's been kidnapped. Huh. Thank you so much for helping with our plan. Killing two birds with one stone. Can record and playback audio. Do I? Like, I didn't get a chance to answer, so apparently the answer must be yes. But I don't really see anything here. There's so much evidence at this point, man. The ring. I don't know. I don't know. The president of Zhengfa, Di Junhuang, was kidnapped on February 10th. The kidnappers demand 100 million. Dai Lang confirmed that on the evening of the incident, the president was at the Zhengfa embassy until midnight. And he had an appointment at midnight. I guess maybe that's good enough. I don't know. Okay. Has Agent Lang not noticed this contradiction? Or has he noticed it but can't admit it? What is it, Mr. Prosecutor? Don't shout something out only to suddenly clam up. According to the recording on the doll, the president visited the orphanage at midnight. However, that should not have been possible. Okay. Huh? Why's that? Why? Because at the time, the president should have been at the embassy. He was together with Agent Lang's father. So, Agent Lang, you really did notice. Okay, I thought it might have just been, you know, inaccurate stuff or whatever. But sure, yeah, no, that makes sense. That's good. That's fine. He was in two places at the same time. Ergo, there must have been two presidents. Then which of the two was the real president on that day 12 years ago? Most likely the one who died. Who contracted Dogen to murder Huang? In order to learn that first, we must have a look at the evidence that we proved was false earlier. And the piece of evidence we know to be false is... the photo? The shoes? Photo? The photo taken with Cameron's camera was taken after he was murdered. And he was murdered because he witnessed the presidential assassination. In other words, the photo must have been taken following the assassination. Given that, who was the president pictured in that fake photo? We must consider him to be the Dobby Bottle. Yes, the Dobby Bottle. In other words, the body double had the real president murdered and then took his place. Patricia, Roland, and Blaze must have cooperated in that plan. Hold it. Huang's body was never found. Just where could it have been? The answer to that is already quite apparent. This is where the real president's body was. Well, in the footprints, I guess.
Take that!
Last night, there was something Blaze had to unearth with his own two hands. That item was not the ransom, it was something far more important. Ah, so Blaze unburied the real president's body. The possibility is quite high. What do you say? The bones from the body buried 12 years ago would have still remained. According to Mr. Powers, construction was to begin soon at this lot. That was the deadline, both for the movie and retrieval of the body. Because they would have found the body when they started the construction. Agent Lung, let us search the footprints that Blaze dug up. Yeah, if the body was buried here, there'd be traces of it. Hey, somebody call forensics. I have the results of the search. We found traces in the dirt that suggest the body was buried here. Well. So it was Huang after all. We also recovered the skeletal remains that Blaze the Best dug up. They were in his home. Well, geez. In addition to the bone structure, the dental records and the bone fractures all match up. Okay. Which can confirm that it was indeed President Huang. So the real President Huang was indeed killed 12 years ago. The SS5 incident was a murder. And quite the murder. A double murder. So the SS5 incident was actually a murder incident. But there's so much information, it's way too confusing. Indeed, let us take this opportunity to review the details of the case. First, the real president came to the orphanage, right? I'm gonna go drink, not go, but I'm gonna drink some water. Can't believe I hadn't done that for the entire stream so far. 12 years ago, the true President Huang visited the orphanage in order to meet his son. The footsteps in the snow that we thought belonged to Mr. Cameron were most likely made by the President at that time. President Huang was supposed to meet his son there. However, the one who actually showed up was the assassin, Sir Handogan. How sad. Like, situations where somebody's just kind of hopefully doing something, like, he was, like, if we look at this drawing here. He was carrying that doll and the flowers. He was clearly trying to, be nice and be a good person, and maybe even he was happy to see, his son and his mistress, had some hope in his heart. And then in situations like that, to be met with disaster always gets to me. Like, oh man, he wasn't trying to do anything bad. He was just trying to be happy. He had good intentions, and then that shit happens. It's like extra sad. He came here to meet his son, but was murdered instead. How horrible. Yeah. A man like Dogan shows no mercy. And after that, the second tragedy occurred. You mean Mr. Cameron's murder? Indeed. Mr. Cameron saw the decisive moment. After the real president was killed by Dogan, his body was carried to the rear courtyard by the team of kidnappers. Mr. Cameron must have witnessed that moment. from the orphanage entrance, although he himself believed that he had actually witnessed a kidnapping. Furthermore, by this time, the body double, who had come to meet up with Blaze and Miss Rowland, was already standing behind Mr. Cameron. And the witness to the incident, Mr. Cameron, was killed by the body double. So was Mr. Cameron's corpse also carried by the body double? Yes, that seems likely. But there wasn't anything at the crime scene that looked like the body double's footprints. Heh, I've already figured out how he accomplished that. There's a piece of evidence that would have made it possible. What did the body double use to move the body without leaving any footprints? The shoes? No. As in, you know, he just stepped inside the president's footprints, but I guess not. Well, the fire stains, maybe. There's something on here. Like the the fire things don't reach all the way to the entrance, so that couldn't be it. I don't know. Let's try this, maybe? I don't know. Okay. This is almost certainly how the body double carried Mr. Cameron's corpse. After Mr. Cameron was killed, the president's body double carried him into the middle of the garden. I suspect the body double was wearing the same shoes as the real president at the time. If he made sure to step precisely on top of the footprints left by the real president. So I was right. Ah, since the shoes were the same, there would only be one set of footprints left behind in the snow. I think I've got a pretty good grasp on the SS5 incident now. But there's still one thing I don't get. What's that? Why did they need to stage the abduction? Because Mr. Cameron witnessed the incident. He saw the president at the orphanage. He left behind witness testimony on Miss Crane's answering machine. Even Blaze couldn't make that disappear. Ergo, the body double needed a reason for the president to have been at the orphanage. And that's why they prepared a fake kidnapping charade. The people in the fake photo are the body double and most likely Patricia Rowland. The person in the coat is Miss Rowland? What makes you say that? Well, she's small. And doesn't have a huge beard. Well, I guess actual, real, the best Blaze also didn't have that, or doesn't currently. Anyway. The two would have to leave the orphanage in order to take the picture. Just like when he moved the body, the double used the real president's footprints. Ah, so the second set of footprints must belong to the person in the coat. Indeed, we originally believed that those footprints belonged to Cameron's killer. They were size 7 footprints, too small for Blaze's feet. Thus we can presume that the person playing the part of the kidnapper was Patricia Rowland. Hidden in the shadow of the presidential kidnapping was a presidential assassination. What a scandal. I see, so that's why my old man... Why he what? The old man must have realized that a murder had taken place. After all, he had the kid's drawing. However, that picture was never presented as evidence. Your father likely took it from the young witness during the investigation and hid it. He had to have known that Huang was dead. But what if he had revealed that back then? Revealed the death of the president? The backbone of Zhengfa? It would have caused chaos. And that's why my old man took the secret to his grave. He even took the blame for the kidnapping, knowing that would be the fall of the House of Lung. That's rough, buddy. So this is the truth that Agent Lang's father hid 12 years ago. And now it's all become clear. Sad stuff. Is that really the case? I wonder. Huh? What? Who's there? Oh. Is that him? Yo, boss. Sir Dogan. You, why are you here? How can you just brazenly show up here? Who do you think you are, pal? I found the conversation most intriguing, and I just, well... Are you feeling nostalgic about an old murder of yours? You're the one who killed Huang. Nostalgia? I think not. You were speaking about the person I am searching for. You're searching for someone? I escaped from prison in order to meet with a young acolyte. The one who wore the red raincoat. The red raincoat? Who is this person? I suspect that it's the same person as the mastermind you are searching for. Mm-hmm. Don't they seem surprised, Anubis? Yes, they are, my boy. 12 years ago, this young acolyte saved my life. What now? Certainly, it was I who killed President Huang. However, my life was also targeted on that day. The body double, Blaze, and Patricia all sought to seal my lips. Had I not been reunited with a young acolyte back then, I would have been in danger. But alas, even to this day I do not know what has become of the young acolyte. So your client was indeed the body double who was the main perpetrator of the crime. It was a long time ago, but I remember his words even now. There have been countless attempts on my life. Not just once or twice, countless. And yet, why must I be the only one to face the danger? When I stand before the people, I garner the same respect as the president does. Tell me, just what is the difference between him and me? The difference was great, while the voice and style of speech may be the same. One can mimic the body, but the heart cannot be reproduced. I suppose his own weaknesses cost him in his quest to become a leader. Now that Rookie's gone, I'm in charge. Well, I guess I'm not going to voice that. Because it's the flashback. Huh. Perhaps the king and his knight were not so different after all. The double believed that the president's only weakness was a woman called Amy. To find the woman, he needed the assistance of someone from this country. So he joined forces with Blaze. After determining her whereabouts, he simply waited for the right opportunity. That chance came with a meeting at the orphanage. Indeed, the director of the orphanage was bribed and brought in as an accomplice. He must be referring to Patricia Rowland. Well, given what I've told you, do you realize the whereabouts of the young acolyte now? You mean the boy who saved you? But how do you know that he is the mastermind? That day, the young one caused a fire at the garden of the orphanage. Ah, you're talking about the kid who started the fire as a prank. A prank? Not at all. On that night 12 years ago, the young acolyte was hiding inside the igloo. It seems he witnessed Patricia and Blaze moving and the body from his hiding place. Apparently, he heard them talking during that time. It would seem that they were planning to kill me because I knew the truth. He immediately came to the main hall to tell me that. I learned this about the young acolyte some time later. It seems he was wearing a red raincoat at the time. He led me out of the main hall. And then the young acolyte said he was going to get rid of the footprints. So he scattered some lamp oil near the igloo over the snow. Then he boldly set the oil ablaze. Ah, no way. So he set the fire in order to... All their focus was diverted towards the burning flames. I took the opportunity to escape through the rear exit. And I guess the acolyte came with you? So the boy in the red raincoat is the mastermind behind this case. Exactly. Isn't that right, Anubis? Yes, boy, yes it is. Well, I don't see anything to... how could you... I mean, like, obviously the muzzle isn't real. Who would even think that it is? That's silly. You admitted that rather easily. These days I have long grown tired of killing. But in those halcyon days, I devoted myself to the path of an executioner. If one cannot admit that much, what can he admit? Right, Anubis? Yes, yes, my boy. I feel like he's saying something scary, but it's kind of hard to understand him. This fallen priest is saying he has no feelings about the president's death. Dogen, the assassin and escaped prisoner. He should be a despicable opponent, but... silencing him now would be imprudent. I must keep my composure and let him talk. I understand your point. You killed the president. That is correct. The aim of my blade never misses its mark. Let's just press everything, because that's what we do. Your life was targeted. You, the assassin. The hunter became the hunted. The Buddhist becomes the Buddha. Okay, you don't have to make up strange proverbs. Life is transient, especially for an assassin, whose life is always exposed to danger. So does that mean people you've tried to kill have fought back? That is a rare occurrence. However, this was different. They sure did. Sirhan Dogen, you are a master assassin. As such, could you not have evaded an attack from those three and fled the scene? You greatly overestimate me. Without Anubis by my side, I would not even be able to walk about. If those three were to attack me all at once, I would not stand a chance. I see, so even an assassin will fall to superior numbers in the frontal assault. I suppose one could say that I, Sirhan Dogen, would have suffered a shameful defeat. Reunited. So, when did you first meet with him? That would be 18 years ago. What a coincidence. On the 24th of December. What another coincidence. That is a rather long time ago. On that day, our roles were reversed. I saved the young one's life. There was an unusual snowstorm on that day. The temperature was below freezing. I took Anubis for a walk in the snow. And that's when Anubis noticed something and started running. I followed after him and found a car. I had great difficulty opening the door. It had frozen shut. Well, isn't that a coincidence? In the back seat, there were two young children shivering from the cold. 2 children? Had they remained in the car for an hour longer, they surely would have frozen to death. I brought the 2 of them to a nearby orphanage. Is there anything about Dogen's story that concerns me? Concerns me? Kinda? but I wouldn't say there's a contradiction, but let's go with it anyway. What concerns me is... the date, I guess? The 24th of December, 18 years ago. Are you sure about that? There's no mistake. Could that mean... thanks. What shows the significance of the date when Dogen found the children? Could it be... the truck? Let's do the truck. Let's definitely do the truck. Oh no, I accidentally did the wrong thing. Aww. That day, a certain incident occurred. A sculptor was murdered. Ah! During that incident, 2 young boys went missing. And they looked just like the people in the flashback that we had no way of seeing, because you only told us about it and you were blind, so you couldn't even describe them visually, but still. I'm gonna say that on a meta level. The sons of the victim, Isaac Dover, and the culprit, Dane Gustavia. We never did find out where those 2 boys went after the case 18 years ago. Oh, they were the sons of a victim and a culprit. It all makes sense now. What makes sense? One of the youths was bound so that he could not move. Mr. Dover did it so that Mr. Gustavia's son couldn't come to the contest venue. Indeed, Gustavia was using his own son as a taste tester. To think that was what transpired. Neither child seemed to recall what had happened. They lost their memories? The acolyte told me this when we were reunited 12 years ago. The pair were placed in an extreme situation on the verge of freezing to death. That trauma led them both to suffer from amnesia. Neither could so much as remember his own name. So they didn't even know that they were the sons of Mr. Dover and Mr. Gustavia. Honestly, probably for the best. Indeed, while we cannot say it conclusively, the probability is quite high. However, we still don't have enough information to deduce the mastermind's identity. Dogen, would you please continue your story? Sure, very well. I continued my correspondence with a young acolyte even after entering prison. Recently, that has all come to an abrupt halt, however. It left me quite concerned. So was Knightley one of them? Furthermore, those involved in the crime 12 years ago were all drawn into incidents one by one. I grew more and more curious, and so I absconded briefly from the prison. Those involved 12 years ago were Patricia Rowland, Blaise the Best, and President Huang's body double. And Miss Rowland was the warden of Mr. Dogen's prison. I blackmailed the warden. That woman had tried to kill me. Perhaps the good prosecutor has already deduced the reason. You murdered President Huang, however. The world still believed he was alive. If you were able to prove the president was fake, both Patricia Rowland and Blaise the Best would have been in danger. That is correct, and I had heard the proof with my own ears. I'll be waiting in the courtyard of the orphanage at midnight on February 9th. Even if it's just once, I want John to be able to meet you. Oh wait, that's Amy. I'm sorry if I'm being selfish, but I'll be waiting. Who might you be? My apologies, but I am presently waiting for someone. I am well aware of that, President Huang. Are you not meeting with your son? However, I do not spill blood needlessly. You may relax. I seek only the president's life. It can't be. Please wait. I am just about to meet my son for the very first time. I'm sure this will be the first and the last time. Please at least wait until we are finished. I had thought the president would beg for his life, but he was of a different sort. Officially, the president had no son. However, he shook his head and said, this illegitimate son was his, and he intended to recognize him publicly. Furthermore, he claimed that he had already made preparations towards that end, and he did. Would that son of his be the boy with horns over there by any chance? How do you know about the horns? I guess you heard about it. Boy with the horns? Wait, you can see John's horns? There's no need to see them. From the moment I escaped from prison until now, I have been closely lending an ear to your voices. He said that the president made preparations towards recognizing his son. But the word preparations alone would be insufficient for blackmail. That's it. There was one thing that could prove Huang's words, the will held by the House of Lung. It was also proof of his trust in us. His son's existence would have been revealed to the world. The name of the recording, on the recording, the mention of the preparations and the will in Zhengfa. Together, they sufficed to make the warden bow to my words. With those three pieces of information, one could prove the identity of the double. By using John. The president blocked the first strike of my knife with something soft. As pieces of it fell atop the snow, I struck once more. This time the blow proved fatal. Well, if you believe hard enough, they are magical. If you don't believe, then they're just part of a costume that he's wearing because he's an actor for a movie. So it's up to you to decide. So Dogen cut off the Mozilla doll's horn. None but I heard his final words. Only myself and that child knew of the president's secret son. Yes, my ears are very magical. I could... okay. Well, let's just press everything again. In other words, you contacted him from prison. That is correct. A post office box was used. A post office box? It would allow one to send and receive letters without revealing the recipient's location. I could not use a form of correspondence that would reveal the acolyte's location. There was someone keeping watch over my correspondences after all. You must mean the prison warden, Patricia Rowland. Could you be more specific about the nature of your correspondence? Well, there were mainly moves for my correspondence chess matches. Correspondence chess? If I recall, the person you were playing against... Yep. Wasn't it Horace Knightley? We certainly found the correspondence chess memo in Knightley's cell. But maybe that was just evidence that he had or something. Maybe not. Does that mean Knightley Boy was the kid from the IS-7 incident? Could that really be true? Is there any evidence connecting Knightley to the IS-7 incident? Knightley and the IS-7 incident. The ring? Was the ring something? Ring and chessboard. Right, the Pierre Hockey ring, maybe? Let's go with that. This was all that Knightley left behind. Could there be a clue hidden within? Which should I investigate? The ring or the chessboard? The ring. Yep, it sure is a PH ring. This ring is... Mr. Edgeworth, what is it? Mr. Shields, please take a look at this ring. This pattern is... It's Pierre O'Gay's. I thought so. He had Mr. Dover's seal turned into a ring. However, why would he have this? Shouldn't it have been held by the police as evidence from the IS-7 incident? Yes, it's probably Edgeworth, yes. I mean, you know, it couldn't be anyone else, really. After the incident, the seal was returned to the victim's next of kin, and Mr. Dover's only family was his son. But since no one knew where the son had gone to, it took a while to get it to him. I'd heard that the police had finally found him and delivered his inheritance, but... So the seal was thereby safely delivered to his son. And then he turned the seal into a ring and wore it on his person. Cute. So Mr. Knightley was Mr. Dover's son. The police aren't fools. I'm sure they did a thorough check before handing over the seal. If someone involved in the I-7 incident was his chess opponent... Knightley, huh? Then that man must be the mastermind behind this case. No, because he's dead. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've heard that it runs on there, right? So... I guess now you can play while you poop. I guess with a laptop you could have already done that, but, you know, that's more bothersome. But Knightley's dead. He cannot be involved in this incident. How about that? The only one who could be the mastermind was himself a murder victim. What, pooping in the bed? That is what you prefer? Okay, well, now I know something about you. That's, you know... You know, I mean, I don't shame, but that's a little weird. But a dead guy can't be the culprit, so there's no way that's right. It certainly is strange. In that case, who is the culprit? Well, the other one, of course. Recently, that has all come to an abrupt halt. However, it left me quite concerned. I guess we'll just keep pressing now, after all that. After all this theatrical stuff. It came to a halt, now of all times. Quite odd, is it not? Anubis told me again and again how odd it was. That scary dog talked? Was he like, "Something's odd, Wolf"? I can understand Anubis's heart even if he does not voice his thoughts. Then there's something I'd like to ask just in case. If scary dog's staring at me right now, he's not saying, "I'm hungry, I want some meat," right? Perhaps. Perhaps? Ah, Mr. Edgeworth. It seems she's not much good with the assassin's dog. Good boy, good boy. There's a good boy. So then... At any rate, my correspondence with the Acolyte suddenly came to an abrupt halt. Well... Keep pressing. That certainly does seem too much for a mere coincidence. The body double of Ji Junhuang, the president of Zhengfa, faked an assassination plot. Yeah. Patricia Rowland, the prison warden, murdered Horace Knightley. And Blaise the Best, the chairman of the PIC, murdered Jill Crane. Come to think of it, as I have been investigating these cases, I have felt the presence of some force behind the scenes. Even with the prison, I could tell that this was no insignificant event. You know, abscond briefly from prison, that's just something cool to do. You absconded briefly from prison. I cannot forgive such a criminal act. You stole your way out of prison. I cannot forgive such a thieving act. Relax, no one was hurt. I merely have connections that allow me to set foot outside. But even so, you can't just escape from prison, pal. Arrest him, arrest him! That won't be necessary. Once my business is done, I shall return to my cell. You trying to make fools of us? A prison isn't the kind of place you can just enter and leave at will. The wolf may say that, but one can see that the wolf and his pack also share an interest in the tales of my past. Agent Lung, Detective Gumshoe. There are still a few things I must ask Logan. Please postpone matters until then. Yes, sir. I knew you'd say that, Mr. Edgeworth. Damn it all. But I'm not taking my eyes off you for a second. Writing letters. Wait, I don't think he said that originally, did he? Writing letters in Braille can be a rather enjoyable pastime. But that's actually interesting, isn't it? Because this letter has no Braille on it, does it? From Dogen to Knightley.
Objection!
Don't know when that statement got added to that, but I guess it's what we needed. I'm certain you said you wrote your letters in Braille. Correct. The good prosecutor must know what that I'm lacking in sight, do you not? The correspondence chest letter we found had been typed out using a word processor. What? That cannot be. What do you mean? So someone went out of their way to retype the letters on a computer? Could another person have acted as a middleman between Dogen and Knightley? What do you mean? Dogen wrote his letters in Braille, however. By the time it reached Knightley, it had been rewritten on a word processor. We must assume that some middleman rewrote those letters. And the reverse can also be said. That somebody must have taken the letters Knightley wrote and delivered them to Dogen. Yes, that is indeed true. Knightley and Dogen both communicated through a certain individual. Dogen, were the letters that reached you... They were in Braille, of course. So Knightley boy's letters must have been transposed by the same person as well. Oh, then that somebody must be the mastermind behind the case. You're saying there's someone else who's the mastermind behind the case? Then who the hell is it? Dover's son, Knightley, is already deceased. In that case, there's one more youth that we should consider to be the mastermind. Wait, how do we know Knightley is Dover's son? Was that cleared up? I mean, obviously, we assumed he was one of the two, but... Whatever. Whatever. You mean Dame Gustavia's son? But who the heck is he? If Knightley is Dover's son, then Gustavia's son must be... Well, we're the only friends either of us had since childhood. He was the same as me. We never had real families. It can't be. Could it be? Could it really be him? Miss Edgeworth, why is it... what is it? You've gone all pale. I figured it out. The identity of the mastermind who's been controlling this case from the shadows. What? Who in the world is it? I don't want to believe it myself, but it is someone we know quite well. The mastermind is... who said that thing that he said? I mean, he comes to mind, but... That doesn't seem right, given his age. He's dead. Ray? I wish I could read that line again that was just given as something he had said, apparently. It's probably Muzilla, yeah. I mean, it would have to be a guy. I assume they don't have transgender people in this game. Right, you'd think there might be such a thing, but I don't think there is. I don't see it, at least. I can, try yelling, take that, but that would be bad right now. Well, yeah, lots of visual novel adventure type games have that. But I think this game does not.
So, you know, by process of elimination, I'm pretty sure it's not Gumshoe. I don't think it's Lung. We know he's involved in different ways. He's too young. Ray. Well, no, Ray also can't be it. Sebastian shouldn't be it either. He doesn't make sense. 24, I guess that maybe fits in. Maybe. I guess he's kind of the only one who fits in age-wise, huh? Well, I could totally be wrong about this.
Take that!
Nope. The mastermind behind this case sent a letter to Jill Crane which deceived Blaze. Furthermore, he kidnapped John and eavesdropped on us. However, of all his actions, the one I have not been able to get out of my mind is how he brought an unconscious Kay to the roof. The giant monster. Huh? Did you just say something? It is Muzilla after all. That's right. The key to exposing the mastermind is in the monster's true form. I almost forgot. If you'd like, please come to our next show. I'll also be performing in it. The Very Big Circus is always fabulous and fun for all ages. Miss Swift, there's something I would like to ask of you. What? No, what, you mean me? You said that you recorded the sound of Muzilla spewing flames. That's right, I ain't actually seen it with my own eyes, though. Could you let us listen to that tape? Sure thing. There we go. This sound, it's as I thought. So it seems that my reasoning was correct. The true nature of the monster and the mastermind, all of my logic is coming together. Miss Hart, you said you captured a giant eye on film, did you not? Sure did, though right here in this photo. Though we cannot confirm it like this. Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir. Lend us your film analysis device. Okay, but what do you want to analyze, sir? This photo, please. I'm on it. Is there any clue? Maybe. What? Crazy. No, this is... See, ain't the Mozilla's eye right there, right where I said it would be? Heh, I see. I have finally grasped the true form of the giant monster that was being controlled by the mastermind. Giant monster? Ain't you admitting it? Are you admitting it? You are, ain't you? You're admitting that the mighty Muzilla is real. I told you, man, the Muzilla was always real. Not. Of course not. No, this is not Muzilla. This is the eye of a different monster. Please have a look at this. It's a flyer for the Very Big Circus. Ah, this is... Precisely. There's a rather large balloon with the head of a lion pictured here. This balloon is the true identity of the giant monster. In addition, the sound of Miss Swift recorded, she believes to be Muzilla spewing flames. Mr. Prosecutor, don't tell me you're gonna say something that'll shatter my dreams of a scope. Hot air balloons fly by using burners to heat the air, right? Sure. Precisely, Detective. The mastermind used this monster of his to bring Kay to the rooftop of the Grand Tower without using the elevator. Would that mean that the mastermind is someone connected to the circus?
He's a member of the circus, Knightley's friend, and Dane Gustavia's son. Oh, who'd have thunk it? An apprentice beast tamer? Heh, he's no amateur. Unbelievable. For the beast he has tamed is none other than this entire case. Simon Keyes, he is the mastermind behind this whole incident. Yeah, I mean, clearly. That's, that's the real truth we're gonna get in the true ending. But first we're gonna have to beat the game normally and then replay the entire thing, but like collect these little pixels that stand out from the background sometimes. And that's the only way to get the true ending. Mr. Keyes was really behind it all? Because he's the key figure. No way, I don't believe it. I mean, we trusted him. I feel like I've heard something about that or something. Where it's like really like something really minor or like weird. Where it kind of basically comes down to something like that. But I don't recall if it's something I played or just heard about it or whatever. I don't think I played it. Otherwise I probably would have remember. Anyway. How could it all have been a lie? That's just heartbreaking. Okay. What's this? Hey you, stop. Where do you think you're going? The boy with horns is rather perceptive. The good prosecutor has done a remarkable job. Now that I have heard that, I have no further business here. What? Wait, Dogen. Wah! I mean, hey, let the man go. He's just going back to prison, right? Damn it, where'd he vanish to? Miss Edgeworth, are you okay? Yes, I'm fine. However, did he take some evidence? That guy. John? That Dogen guy. He's the one who killed my dad, right? There's no question more difficult to answer, however. There's no use in denying the truth. Yes, John, you are correct. He'll pay for this. I swear he's gonna pay. I mean, he's already technically in prison. I'll make him pay myself. Oh no.
Overruled.
Yeah, overrule that. John, you mustn't finish that thought. Prosecutor Edgeworth, please pay us no mind. Sir, I've put out an APB on Dogen. All available police units will be searching for him. You heard the man, kid. I don't mean to be heartless, but we need to hurry too. So, Mr. Prosecutor, where's the mastermind right now? Agent Lung is right. Our top priority right now should be catching the mastermind. He said he would be practicing. He is most likely at the very big circus tent. But first, Agent Lung, I have a request. A request? What is it? Now that we've identified the giant monster, our next order of business is to capture it. The moment we arrive at the tent, I need you to locate the specific item post-haste. That specific item. And Detective, I ask that you perform a follow-up investigation on this kidnapping incident. Roger that, sir. Miss Edgeworth, I want to help too. In that case, you'll be in charge of calling for backup. If he is truly the mastermind, we may require assistance from a certain someone. Shelley the killer. I met him so many times, yet his facade always fooled me into sympathy. He may have got the better of me in the past, but this time I'll settle it once and for all. To be continued. I guess I'll stop here. If they think there's enough left here for another chapter at least, then I guess there'll probably be enough for, another episode. Especially with like epilogue and all that, it'll probably take up a chunk of time. And this seems like a solid, length for this game. So yeah. Let's finish this, probably at least. Probably tomorrow. Soon. But not right now. Yeah. Thanks for watching and hanging out and playing correspondence chess with me. With or without the use of vibrating toys. And I'll see you next time. お疲れ様. Bye bye.